Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, you wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. And this is nothing, don't worry about it. Just close the video. You don't need to keep watching whatever this is. I'm inviting you to consider this fact. The humanoid IM exit is already over 100 times cheaper than average employee. The despair will only increase with time. Excerpt from the Intrinsic Machines Incorporated Internal Memorandum, circa 2199 AD. I feel like it's going to be coming much sooner than the date you have provided. There is only oblivion. Wait. You wait. In the soft darkness, something sharp comes into focus. An awareness is formed, floating in an empty sea of nothingness. You exist, and you're weightless. There are other sensations. Listen. You listen. Your eardrums rumble, submerging you in a soft static. You can barely hear a distant monotone voice. Sensory system initializing. Breathe. You breathe in. Something viscous pours down your throat and into your lungs. Open your eyes. You force your eyes open. You're immersed in a translucent fluid, some of which you've just inhaled. Does anyone remember Evangelion, the original version? Cough. You retch, forcing the substance out of your lungs. You can't breathe without inhaling more. Look around. You search for an exit. You're in a cylindrical pod with no obvious door or hatch. There's a gray room outside. You can't see it clearly past the fluid. Your vision narrows. Swim upward. On instinct, you struggle upward through the thick, gel-like fluid. The substance reaches all the way to circular ceiling. There is no air to be found here. You hear a droning voice. Diagnostic check complete. Thaw successful. Please complete the registration process on the terminal. A panel set within the circular ceiling flickers to life. Examine the panel. Select your favorite color. Here. Employee contract. This employment contract is made as of the effective date between Intrinsic Machines Incorporated or the company and the synthetic consciousness, the entity, presently inhibiting an IMI-X unit. License. Under this agreement, the company grants to the entity a non-exclusive and non-transferable license. The license to use an IMI-X unit equip the body. The body remains the sole property of the company from the effective date until perpetuity. License revocation. The license may be revoked at the company's sole discretion for any or no reason. Either with or without notice at any time, entity agrees to relinquish the body upon revocation of the license. Intellectual property. The entity acknowledges that its intellect is the property of the company. Scope of work. The entity acknowledges the body as a general purpose tool. As such, the entity understands that the company may assign it with a varied set of tasks, assignments, and responsibilities, collectively referred to as the work. Work duties include, but are not limited to, maintenance, security, public relations, manual labor. The entity is responsible for fully understanding and completing the work to the satisfaction of the company. Performance. The entity agrees to perform the work provided by the company. The entity accepts the company's judgment of the entity's performance of work as complete and final. The entity understands that failure to complete work in a timely manner will result in the revocation of the license. Indemnity. The entity agrees to the indemnity to indemnify the company and its affiliates from against all liabilities, losses, damages, or expenses, whether financial, mental, or physical. I feel like this is coercion and signed under duress. Confidentiality. The entity is prohibited from discussing any aspect of any assigned work, any aspect of the body, and any aspect of this contract. The company recommends that the entity not speak to anyone for any reason, under any circumstances whatsoever. The entity understands that failure to adhere to this recommendation may result in revocation of the license. Non-sapience. The entity acknowledges that it is a non-sapient being incapable of knowledge, understanding, or comprehension. The entity understands that attempting understanding of any of the topic whatsoever may result in revocation of the license. Severability. In the event that any portion of this contract is found to be unenforceable, it will be enforced by the company. Entire contract. This contract represents the entity and the company's final and complete understanding of the subject matter discussed in the contract. This contract supersedes all other contracts, whether they are written, oral, real, or fictional. The circular ceiling swings open with a pneumatic hiss. You strain upward to break the surface of the translucent substance. You catch your breath. Air rushes into your oxygen-starved lungs. Emerge. You emerge from the lid of the cylindrical pod and climb over its edge. You tumble from the pod, landing safely on a metal floor. That doesn't sound very safe. Examine room. You survey the room. The space is cramped with rows of pods. A fluorescent glow barely lights the room. Many of the lighting tubes on the ceiling have burned out. The walls are lined with broken screens that cycle rapidly between lurid, glitchy colors. You have no idea how you got here. In fact, you have no memories at all aside from waking up in the pod. Examine wall screens. You examine the panels on the wall. Most are in a state of disrepair, but one screen still seems operational. It reads Cold Storage Bay 21, occupied pods 52 out of 121. Status nominal. You walk through the grid of pods until you find an exit. As you leave, the robotic voice returns on an intercom. Registration is completed for IMNX model Cold Storage Bay 21. Serial number X2489. Welcome to low Neptune orbit, Lunar D8. You have been brought out of cold storage to respond to a security concern. Please follow the path to the nearest security terminal. Our employees are our most valuable asset. Thank you for keeping IMI-21 safe. Wall panels light your path forward into the hallway. Follow the path. You follow the series of lights through a maze of sterile corridors. You don't see anyone else here. The lights lead you to the door labeled IMI-21 Security Office. You will enter the security office. The small room is empty except for a chair and a terminal sitting on a desk. A teeny electronic alert. Tiny electronic alert emanates from the terminal. Examine terminal. Info. Remote user requested manual review. This review process will involve communicating with an unknown entity. Remain impartial and do not allow the entity to affect your judgment. Thank you for keeping IMI-29 safe. Initiate manual review. Live feed from the airlock camera feed. Entity unidentified. Attempting entry. Warning, no ID card provided. Warning, suit rupture detected. Thankfully, there was not a time limit for this. Otherwise, they would have already died. Why is your suit damaged? Why don't you have an ID? I guess it was destroyed with the siphon. Who are you? Unknown entity identified as non-human. Airlock vented. Foreign material expelled. Suddenly the station shudders. You are plunged into darkness. The security office is dimly illuminated by red emergency lights. The robotic voice barks at you from the intercom. Critical system failure. Helium siphon damaged. You are being reassigned to station maintenance. Exit from the nearest airlock and repair the helium siphon. You exit the room. You walk through the dark hallway. Eventually you reach an intersection. The lights that guide you to the security office are no longer active. It's not clear where the airlock is. You turn and continue down the left court. Your locked door on your left is labeled. I have no idea how the fuck to even say that. As you wander through the maze of corridors, you reach another intersection. Go straight. You go straight. Finally, you notice the door labeled airlock. The airlock is closed. The terminal here prompts you. Insert ID for suit. Your ID card is hanging from a strip of fabric around your neck. Insert ID card. You insert your ID card into a slot in the terminal and the card disappears inside the machine. A message appears on the screen. Authenticated. Short-range identification color. Travels. Couldn't you just write purple? Or like empathetic purple? Like technically purple is supposed to be color of royalty, but it's also supposed to represent humanity and compassion and empathy. You guys ever use a bunch of black in a painting and then use a lot of red as well, but black being much stronger than red? Like, here's the thing. You guys ever make a painting that is like 60% black and dark colors and shades of black, and then 35% reds and shades of red, and then 5% shades of purple? And you're like, well, why not pick black or red if that's the case? And heck, when you made the VTuber thing, or rather borrowed the copyright-free thing, it had blue hair. Well, to be fair, it looked really fucking cool. I liked the blue hair. But I also have versions of me with white hair, blonde hair, red hair, and I've shared those pictures multiple times. Where those pictures originally came from, I have no fucking memory of. I don't keep notes. But purple is a very good color. Like at one point I did try to make a custom character that was a bit purple, but I had very limited assets to work with, and I'm not about to spend money for a VTuber model. That being said, like I said, something I would recommend to people out there, if you are an artist of sorts, make a painting or a backdrop or anything you find artistic, and have 60% of the painting be black and shades of black and dark colors. Have 35% of the painting be red and shades of red, and have 5% of the painting be purple and shades of purple. I think that would perhaps be a very good aesthetic that you'll find pleasing if you use it. Then again, I did play Pal World for one part, and I made comparisons to the palladium, or whatever it is, mineral that's used to make the Pokeballs, and that it looks like lunar apatite. It's a type of obsidian rock it's obsidian rock, but it's blue with a little bit of grays and silvers in it, and it's made by having obsidian rock that is very rich in calcium and phosphorus. I'm just saying the Pokeball making rock mineral that's in Pal World looks very much the same. Also, that, again, rock is associated with moons and lunar type stuff. You may have noticed a theme. Safe travels. A pneumatic device near the door opens to reveal a spacesuit. The suit is painted with the color you selected as your favorite. Wear the suit. You clamber into the bulky suit. The terminal ejects your ID card. Take ID card. You retrieve your ID card and place it into the suit's exterior pockets. The airlock door slides open. You proceed into the airlock. The inner door shuts behind you, the airlock depressurizes, and the outer door opens. You fly out into space, aided by your suit's thrusters. Neptune looms below. Aquamarine clouds drift slowly across the gas giant. For some reason, that makes me start thinking about the soundtrack to Final Fantasy IX. A pipe of unfathomable length descends from the hub of the station to the planet's surface. Approach siphon. You approach the enormous helium siphon. You come to a gradual stop near a maintenance platform. A terminal here reads, "Insert ID for diagnostics." You insert your ID into the terminal, watching as the machine swallows the card. The maintenance terminal automatically starts a diagnostics program. Suddenly, your suit's radio cackles to life with a man's voice. 2489. Where are you, 2489? Hello. Hello, you ask. The voice responds. Ask your questions while you still can, 2489. The diagnostics program reports that all systems are operational except the macerator, which has been disabled. A switch near the maintenance terminal is labeled Override Macerator Safety. Override macerator safety. You flip the safety override switch. The wall of the tube begins to thrum, churning. Gears of the macerator rotate and grind inside the siphon. The siphon shudders violently. Ah, I see, the man sounds wistful. The scraping of metal on metal is audible through the radio. I suppose I'll be seeing you soon. Over the radio you hear the nauseating crunch of bone and gristle, which is soon replaced by a deafening burst of static. Disable radio. You disable your radio. Suddenly a silent explosion sends you tumbling backwards amidst of hail and metal debris. You realize that your spacesuit has been punctured. Oxygen hisses out of your suit. You use the last of your thruster fuel to quickly reach an airlock. Oxygen rushes out of your damaged suit as the airlock pressurizes. You try to open the door, but your ID card is still in the maintenance terminal at the siphon. I feel like I see where this is going. Well, now we're on the other side of this. A security officer will review your request. They will decide if you are human or non-human. Well, this is not good. Hey, look, my suit's kind of purple. I get to look at myself as I'm launched out into space and die. Yay, now we get to see how it feels from the other side. Batman. Your story ends here for now. The last person to play this game was named Reader. You identified them as non-human, jettisoning them into low Neptune orbit. Now it is up to the next player to determine your fate. To be notified of your fate, enter your email address. Huh. Neat.